The United States has just detonated a new trade war. On July 10th, 2025, President Donald Trump signed a proclamation imposing a 50% tariff on every pound of imported copper effective August 1st. The move stunned global markets, pushing copper futures to an all-time high of $5.95 per pound. Prices jumped 13% in a single session, the steepest day rise in the contract's history. But the shock does not stop at Wall Street. It slams directly into the copper veins that run from Quebec through Asia to U.S. factories. It pressures automakers, home builders, and clean energy projects. It slices through every part of the economy that depends on the red metal. And it forces Canada into a high-stakes decision: absorb the blow or root its $9 billion copper trade before Washington strikes again. This is not just another tariff. It is a turning point in North American trade. YouTube is not the biggest fan of content like this, but we believe people deserve to hear the truth. If you agree, hit that like button and subscribe. It helps us beat the algorithm and keep going. We really appreciate the support. The copper tariff sends a blunt message. Negotiate later. Pressure first. Trump framed the measure as vital to national security under Section 232, but the numbers tell a different story. The United States imported over 800,000 tons of refined copper in 2024. Roughly 1/4 of that came from Canada. Now half of that pipeline will carry a tax burden heavier than most luxury goods. The immediate impact is historic. Conk's copper futures exploded to over $12,300 per metric ton. The price gap between New York and London soared to $1,600 per ton, opening up an unprecedented arbitrage window. Warehouses in New Orleans reported a 40% spike in inbound. Cathode stockpiles drained from the London Metal Exchange as traders raced to capitalize the downstream effect. Manufacturers are bracing for chaos. Electric vehicles use up 80 kilograms of copper.
Single phase. Electric vehicles use up to 80 kilograms of copper.
A single 5-cent price increase per pound at around $90 an hour. July. These like Florida. Tesla face millions in new material costs every month. Tesla costs like, hey, what's that for? Hey, look, this is materially. Grid upgrade projects launched under the Biden administration now face budget shortfalls. Utilities are reviewing timelines. Emergency rate hikes are being discussed. The aerospace sector is also bracing for cost inflation. A single commercial aircraft can contain over 250 kilometers of copper wiring. For Boeing and Bombardier, even a minor shift in copper pricing triggers multi-million-dollar swings in production budgets. With defense contracts already straining under cost overruns, the military supply chain is now exposed. Even the renewable energy sector is bracing for a storm. Wind turbines contain more than 4 tons of copper each, and solar installations rely on copper wiring for efficiency and durability. With green infrastructure projects ramping up in the race to meet net zero targets, higher copper costs could delay deployments and stall climate investment timelines. Industry groups warn that the economic case for renewables is narrowing by the day. At the consumer level, Cox Automotive estimates the tariff alone adds $6,000 to the Canadian-built car. A full 50% duty pushes that surcharge into 5-figure territory. Meanwhile, housing groups say the combined impact of metal tariffs and lumber restrictions has added up to $22,000 to the cost of a new home. This is not theoretical. It is real. It is already happening. And Canada is not standing still. Prime Minister Mark Carney vowed to defend Canadian businesses through every diplomatic and legal tool available. But Ottawa is not waiting for the World Trade Organization to act. The private sector is already moving. Teck Resources, one of Canada's largest mining companies, has activated contingency plans to reroute copper concentrate away from U.S. buyers and into Asian smelters. Finished metal will now be hedged on the Shanghai Futures Exchange, effectively bypassing American demand altogether. Provincial officials in Quebec are meeting with buyers in Lima and Santiago. Export permit fees are being quietly waived to keep miners operating and prevent labor unrest. Canada is building a parallel trade route in real time. Well, less than 2 weeks away from the deadline to get tariffs off steel and aluminum, U.S. President Donald Trump targets another metal. Came out. Now today we're doing copper. I believe the tariff on copper we're going to make it 50%. In a fresh escalation of trade measures, U.S. President Donald Trump has announced a 50% tariff on copper imports aiming to boost domestic production. Copper prices surged over 13%, their biggest one-day gain since 1989 following the announcement. In fact, the U.S. currently imports nearly half of its copper needs, primarily from Chile, Canada, and Peru. The tariff set to take effect by end July mirrors similar 50% duties already placed on steel and aluminum. U.S. copper miners gained on expectations of increased domestic demand. There are tariffs on the finished product of copper. I am concerned that tariff will affect us producing. More telling, Statistics Canada reports that copper exports to Asia rose nearly 27% in the second quarter, marking the largest jump since 2015. As smelters in South Korea and Japan ramp up orders, Canadian ports are seeing longer shipping queues, and container traffic is being rerouted from traditional U.S.-bound terminals to Vancouver and Prince Rupert. Even before the tariff landed, Ottawa scrapped its planned digital services tax in a last-minute attempt to ease tensions. But the White House fired back anyway, issuing the copper duty just days later. Trade insiders say pharmaceutical products could be next with a potential 200% tariff looming if no deal is reached by July 22nd. By volume, Canada is the United States' second largest source of refined copper. Much of that copper begins life in British Columbia, travels to smelters in Japan, China, or South Korea, and returns as cathodes to U.S. factories. The new tariff gums up every link in that chain. Wall Street is already sketching worst-case scenarios. UBS estimates that if the premium between U.S. and global copper prices holds above $1,000 through September, American manufacturers will pay an additional $4.20, $2 billion this quarter alone. That could shave half a point off U.S. GDP. And yet, the calendar is now driving the story. On July 22nd, Canada is set to activate its own countermeasures. 125 billion Canadian dollars in U.S. imports are on standby for retaliatory duties. Bay Street analysts warn that if those tariffs drop, American exporters could face a 4% hit to all cross-per sales. Trade flows are already shifting. Statistics Canada reported that exports to non-U.S. buyers surged nearly 25% in March, while U.S.-bound shipments dropped by over 6%. That is the widest trade gap in nearly a decade. Public sentiment is shifting too. A Montreal Street poll captured by Global News found shoppers openly calling for a boycott of U.S. goods, echoing the 2018 metals war. The business community is not silent either. The Canadian Chamber of Commerce has urged Ottawa to accelerate its Indo-Pacific trade diversification strategy, emphasizing long-term agreements with buyers in Vietnam, Thailand, and Indonesia. Copper is not just a metal, it is leverage. And right now, Canada is trying to cash it in. Even labor unions are weighing in. Unifor, Canada's largest private sector union, is now lobbying Parliament for job protection subsidies and emergency relief funds for affected mining and refining communities. They argue that a copper supply chain shift could lead to permanent job losses if Ottawa does not act fast. Meanwhile, American manufacturers are lobbying for tariff exemptions. Industry coalitions have submitted over 200 petitions to the U.S. Department of Commerce asking for waivers on copper used in medical equipment, electric grid components, and transportation. Trade lawyers say the backlog could take months to clear, by which time the damage will be done. This is not just about copper anymore. It is about how a single tariff can trigger ripple effects from car dealerships to construction sites, from factory floors to foreign ministries. It is about whether North America reinvents its trade system or tears it apart, one commodity at a time. The next 10 days are critical. Will Washington pull back to prevent further inflation and supply chain chaos? Or will it double down, betting that voters are willing to pay the price for security? Let us know what you think in the comments. And do not forget to subscribe to Autone and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest political economic updates.